Hi, I'm Bonnie Barker with BonnieBayCrochet.com, and we are in the home stretch of this holiday cables throw project. We are on video number 6, and let me show you what you should have at this stage. Okay, I'm going to show you all the way as best as I can. Okay, so we have Celtic weaves, we have cable stitches galore, arrow stitches, whatever. So I dare say the hard part is done. If you've gotten this far, the rest is going to be like a walk in the park. Okay, the very next thing we do, we're going to be working round 118. Know that it says round and not a row. And this round we are going to go all the way around the perimeter of the project. And then we will begin the decorative border on both ends. I'm only going to go through the teaching of it one time, and you will know to do it 2 times on each end of the afghan, or of the throw. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, now we're starting with round 118, which is continued from row 117, which is the cabling section here. Okay, now like I said before, we're going to go all the way around this throw, but it's going to be different what we do on the ends and what we do along the long sides. Okay, we're working along the sides here in the stitches. Row 118 says to chain 1, which I've already done, and we're going to slip stitch in each stitch across top edge. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And for a slip stitch, we just simply stick the hook in, pull up a loop, and pull up the loop like so. Okay, slip stitch. That's how I teach beginners. Pull it through, pull it through. And this will help somewhat on if your ends are tending to curve under a little bit. This will kind of help alleviate some of that. If you're working with 100% wool, or you may need to do a little bit of blocking. I've not really had to do much blocking with acrylic, but anyway, we're going to do this all the way across the row. So I'll go ahead and finish that, and then I will get back to you. Okay, that brings us to the end of the row. And so now I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to work a single crochet in the same place as the last single, or as I said, last slip stitch. That forms a corner. So what we're going to do now is we work across the ends, is we are going to work 135 stitches as evenly as we can across the end of these rows. I'm trying to think of the best way to tell you to do this. This is going to be trial and error as we go across. I could, try to tell you exactly where to put the stitches, but that's probably not going to work because I may have to give this a couple of tries myself. One strategy is to take and mark, let's say the center stitch of the afghan, where you think the center of the Celtic weave will be. And when you get to that point, you'll know that you will be halfway. So if you take 135 and divide it by 2, that would give you, let's see, 72, 73. So like maybe on stitch number 73 should come about the middle. Now as you're working through these, you may have to put, like 2 stitches on the row ends for this section. And the other sections are much more compact, so you definitely don't put a stitch every row, because as in these rows, which are very compact, you may only need 1 single crochet here, 1 single crochet here, 1 here. But the whole idea is to space them evenly, and you do need to have 135 by the time you get to the next corner, which will be here. Okay. And then after you work those 135 stitches evenly to this point, we're going to do another chain 2 and then single crochet in the same place where you worked the last single, we're going to be doing slip stitches across here. So you're going to work that in the same place, which should be the place of the first stitch here. And then we're going to repeat that one more time for the rest of the perimeter. We're going to be working slip stitches across here. And as you do that, you can see where each stitch is formed, or actually what we're doing is we're going to be working in the remainder of the foundation chain, which is where we started. If you have a hard time finding where your hook goes next, you can look at the stitches below here, wherever the stitches come together. Oops, I'm blocking it here. You can just stick your hook, in the hole, and there'll be the same number across as there were in stitches on the other end. And then you chain 2 and then work 135 single crochets evenly along the edge. Just in order to try to bring some more clarity to this tricky round, actually, I wanted to show you what I did. I marked the center of the Celtic weave, and when you divide 135 by 2, you get 67.5. So the 68th stitch I put right here, which is in the center of my Celtic row. So what I did to make things easier is, just crocheted along the edge evenly. You don't want the stitches to be bunched up. You don't want them to be too spread out, but as evenly as you can. I crocheted up to this point, which is the center. So this is number 68. So at this point, what I need to do is just continue to crochet what I've been doing all along this edge until I get to number 135. And the 135th stitch should be the corner once I get to that end. I'll go do that and get back to you. Okay, I've come to the end, and I did get up to 135. One thing nice about these ending cable stitches is you can kind of fudge it a little bit here and there to get these stitches in. You don't want them to be too bunched up or too spread out. But anyway, so I get to the end. This is stitch number 135. I'm going to chain 2, and now I'm going to begin slip stitching along this edge, which is the foundation chain. So I'm just going to stick it in, each stitch. Might be a little trickier to see. Just kind of go along. If you have a hard time seeing, you can look and see where the stitches were formed, and that's a pretty good giveaway as to where the next stitch goes. When you're doing these slip stitches on both ends, try not to do it too tightly. If you're one who tends to crochet very tightly, especially with slip stitches, I would encourage you to bump up the hook to a larger size to try to counter that tendency. If you don't, no problem. Just crochet your slip stitches along the edge as normal. And as you do this, it's going to give it a little more of an edge and try to help prevent some of the curling. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to finish this all the way to the corner, chain 2 and turn, and do the other round, or I'm sorry, it is a round, but the part of the round that goes along the edges. And when you get to the very first slip stitch of this round, that's round 118, you just simply join with the slip stitch and finish off. Okay, I'm at the end of round 118. And it is a good idea. I've had to double count actually twice because I lost track. So if that happens to you, I'm sorry. That's just part of the beast here. But I did double check that I have 135 stitches on each end. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to join with the first slip stitch. I'm going to do a slip stitch in the slip stitch. Okay. And I'm going to pull it tight. And I'm going to fasten off. And that will be the end of the round. Okay, as we begin the border, I'm going to join my yarn in the chain 2 space of the corner. Notice I have the front side facing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just join the yarn. Make sure I leave plenty of extra in order to hide that stitch later on. Okay, so now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this chain 4 counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. Okay, we're going to, let's see, it says to, okay, we're going to skip the first or the next single crochet. We're going to double crochet the next single crochet. We're going to chain 1, skip the next single crochet and double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the next. We're going to do this all the way across the edge. Again, we're just working along the bottom edge here. Okay, I will finish this going across and then I will rejoin you. Okay, I've gone all the way across. There should be 1 single crochet left. I chain 1 and I'm going to work my last stitch in the chain 2. Okay, so what you need to do now, I would highly recommend you do this in order that everything turns out right. You need to have 68 chain 1 spaces. So what you should do now is go back and just go back and count just to verify that you really do have 68 chain 1 spaces. This is kind of important for the lace pattern we're going to use. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and then we'll go on to row looks like row number 2. Okay, now we're beginning row 2 of the border. We've chained 1, we've turned. We now have the back side facing. We're going to single crochet in the first double crochet. Then the instructions say to single crochet in next chain 1 space, so we'll do that. Single crochet in the next double crochet, and we're to do that twice, so we're going to do that again. Do a single crochet and then a single crochet in the double crochet. Okay, now the next thing it says to do is single crochet in next chain 1 space. We'll do that. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch in top of single crochet made in order to make a picot. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick it in, do a slip stitch, and we have this little knob or picot that's made. Okay, now we're going to single crochet in the next double crochet. Okay, we'll do that. And this is what we're going to repeat. We're going to single crochet in next chain 1 space, and then the next double crochet, we'll do that twice. So it's 1, whoops, and then double crochet, and then do that again, and then the double crochet, and then we're going to repeat from the asterisk in the pattern, which takes us back to single crochet in next chain 1 space. Okay, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch in the top of the single crochet. All right, and single crochet in next double crochet, and then we're going to do this again, single crochet in the chain, single crochet in the double, single crochet in the chain, single crochet in the double. Okay, and as I'm reading the pattern, repeat from the asterisk again. So we're going to single crochet again here. So let's take a look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let me back that up. Maybe I didn't read that properly. Okay, so we're going to single crochet in the chain. Yep. Chain 3, and then do a slip stitch in the top. Okay, so we're going to do that all the way across. So let's do that again. 1, and then single crochet in the next one, chain 3, 2, 3, and then slip stitch in the top, and then picot. Okay, so this is what we're doing. Does that make sense? So I would, if I were you, I'd just really follow this the repeat pattern carefully, because it's worded in such a way as to be very specific where these stitches goes. But let me just do that one more time for you once you get started. So it's in the double crochet, and then you're going to repeat this twice, one in the chain, one in the DC, and then the repeat, one in the chain, one in the DC, and then this is the one in the chain again, and then you're going to chain 3 and then slip stitch in the top of that single crochet, and we're going to do this all the way across. I'm going to finish this across and I will come back to you. We're going to end this row by working 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one, the 5th one's going to be worked in the top of the chain 3 turning chain. Okay, I'm going to go slow here so that we can get this right. So we chained 1 and turned. Now we are going to slip stitch in the first 3 stitches. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now it says to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This is going to count as a double crochet, and we're going to do 2 double crochets in the same stitch that we just worked our last slip stitch in. 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to chain 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next 5 single crochets, so count with me: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we're going to do 3 double crochets in the next stitch. So this stitch here, I'm going to do 3. 1, 2, 3 double crochets right like that. Okay, and we're going to repeat from the asterisk, so that's going to mean chain 5, skip 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3 double crochets in the next stitch. Let's try that again. Okay, we got that. Now we're going to do that again and again and again, all the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then work 3 double crochets in the next stitch. That's 1, 2, 3. Let's stop and see what it would look like from this point on. Okay, notice how there is a little indentation there. That is on purpose. So let's go ahead and work that row 3 all across, and I'll show you the end. Okay, we've come to the end of, this would be row 3. We're going to skip 5 stitches again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to work 3 double crochets in this stitch. Okay, and we're going to leave the remaining 2 stitches here unworked for this row. Okay, this ends video number 7. Continue on to video number 8, where I will complete rows 4 and 5 and give you some hints and tips on how to finish off your holiday cables throw. God bless. Bye-bye.